hello. It's Private Talk Podcast, and we are back, Season 3. We have an After Dark episode today, and I am very, very excited to have the lovely Daisy Marie on the couch. Yes. How are you, my sexy queen?
I am great. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, of course. We haven't talked to you in a long time. You know, we've had a whole pandemic happen. We've had all these, crazy life things just get in the way of funness. So yes. I feel like, it's just time to kind of catch up, get to know each other a little bit more. Because I feel like it's one of those things like in the industry that we're in, we were friends with mutual friends, but we're not really we haven't had a one-on-one and got to have more of an intimate conversation kind of thing. And I'm an intimate kind of person sometimes. I feel like sometimes I looks can be deceiving. People think I'm very intimidating, which I can be. But I feel like once you get to know me, I'm soft and gushy inside. There's a lot of fun stuff in there.
Like, she's a sweetheart. She's Alexis, Texas.
Hey, that southern charm.
Yep.
So tell Private Talk, what have you been up to? What are you doing currently? How is your OnlyFans going? What has Miss Daisy Marie been into lately?
Just a whole lot of sex.
Whole lot of sex. We like that here at After Dark episodes.
Yeah, I've just been
personal sex, OnlyFans sex, all of the sex,
all of the above. I feel like OnlyFans has definitely opened up a new window for me as far as, bringing in other girls to my relationship.
Okay.
And shooting it. You know what I mean?
Now, was that something that you had done prior to, or is it something that made it was more of a thing because you now had to do your own content with OnlyFans?
Well, I mean, obviously, I love women. I actually had sex with a woman before I had lost my virginity. Oh. So being with the girl is just super extra special and sexual. I love cock though, so it's
I have to have both. So you like to have your cake and eat it too,
right?
Okay, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So just shooting with for OnlyFans, and then creating my own schedule, my own themes, my own, all of that. Being able to pick and choose who I work with, and
so what's different besides because you had your own site before. So what's the difference between having your site and an OnlyFans platform? Because it's kind of similar to a point, but how come you feel like OnlyFans made it to where now you have these girls that you're like, hey, we can not only have fun, babe, but we can actually make money too, because it's kind of the same thing on your site.
Well, I think that's why I focus more on OnlyFans, because 95% of the girls that I work with have an OnlyFans, where for my site, it would just be for me. If they didn't have a website. So
you're doing trades?
Yeah, so we do trades. So it wouldn't, if we shot something, they'd get the content, but then not use it because they don't have either a site. With OnlyFans, it's cross promotion. You know what I mean? I also work with girls that aren't necessarily in the industry. I do a lot of Instagram models, dancers.
So is it same kind of content with those type of performers as well? Because it's still, adult related in sense, what kind of things can we see you doing with those types of girls?
I honestly do. I mean, sometimes I'm turning someone out that's wanting to.
I see a pattern here, Daisy Marie. I see that you're like, come here, little one. But I want to teach you something.
It's all, they give me the okay. They
But I feel like it's maybe
it.
Because you make them feel comfortable. You know what I mean? And because you like women, some women you get around them, it's super catty. You don't know if you feel comfortable. But if you're enhancing all the beautiful things of a woman to make her feel sexy, I don't see why someone wouldn't be like, fuck it,
that's how, honestly, some of the girls that I've done a girl or boy girl with on my OnlyFans that were dancers, we've either had an encounter outside of OnlyFans and then decided to film another one after because the chemistry was so good.
Yeah, that's hot.
So it's really that's how it's been. It's like if I went to a strip club, which I love, and LA strip clubs, all the girls are like my friends, so it's like having sex with them, it's like, it's like...
I like how you're like a little kid in the candy store, like, they're my friends, and we're doing things after the club.
Yeah, we just have fun, So
now, did they become your friends because you did things after with them in the club, or were they your friends prior to you doing things in the club?
Like we said, it's people that you just know mutual people, and you end up, being friends with them.
So it's like the comfort of the industry, because we don't judge people. We're just kind of like the same boat, but we wear different panties. You know what I mean?
We share panties.
Or we use share panties. Or no panties.
Or no panties.
No panties at all.
Yeah.
I like the no panties thing sometimes. You need just free lip it out.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta let it breathe,
Free the lips.
Leave some snail trails.
Hey, that happens. That happens. So what is your favorite type of scene since you're doing your own OnlyFans content? Like, is there, how much like thought is really put into like you said, the themes, the costumes, like, because people don't realize how much work it really is.
I think, I mean, I'm probably shooting twice a week. It just depends also with the other person or whoever you book with. I like to do costumes. I like to do, you know, sometimes I'll create like a backdrop, do a set, do some fun lighting, you know, put on some crazy contacts, wear wigs, that kind of stuff, just to switch it up. The fans love it. They love change. They love new faces. That's why I love switching it up. And, you know, it's not necessarily, I don't just shoot with girls that are in the industry because I like to have a little bit of both, you know?
Variety is never a bad thing,
yeah.
for sure. And if you like girls, I feel like it's a good way to like, you know, get to a little bit to know them a little bit more intimately, especially, you know, and showcase it. Because it's like, I feel like back in the day, you know, it was when on set, it'd be like, oh, you want to shoot content? And it was like your way, you either wanted to fuck somebody and you'd be like, you know, it's just everybody wins because you get to put it on their site, you know, and you still get to fuck, you have a great time. And then it's a mutual benefit for everybody involved. So how does your partner, being in the fact of like, you know, did he do scenes with you for your site, or was the OnlyFans his first like debut of his cock?
Yes, filming was his, filming for OnlyFans was his first debut. But
does he have a porn name, or is
he's
it
a little hoe? I mean, before we started shooting, so it kind of came. Yeah, he's a hoe, you know. So then we kind of were just like, why don't we just? Well, he's my forever significant ever. So yeah, I don't shoot with any other male talent, just him, because I don't need to, you know. So and I don't want to, and I love bringing girls home for us, and it's just fun, like. Everyone that knows us or knows him, or even ex-girlfriends of his, like we've brought home. And
is that weird because they've had like a relationship prior to, and now you're like that bitch?
You know what? I don't look at it like that. I look at it as like, it was just your time. That was your time. This is my time. And if
time's
we can,
up, bitch.
Yeah,
and no, I'll share a little bit, but then like
have
go
fun,
back.
And then it's just that. But it comes. That whole scenario comes from the mutual respect that me and him have. So I don't doubt him and he doesn't doubt me. So I know that by experiencing that together with someone from his past is not gonna hurt our relationship. You know what I mean? Just because we both
Now, how do you feel like you got to that place? Like, how do you build a bond like that?
It took a long time.
In a relationship, or having, because sometimes it's like, people don't want to bring their relationship into the business because you don't want to taint it. Some people get overzealous, or like, it's like the cake and eat it too thing. You can go both ways. Right. Or it's like, sometimes if you give someone so much, then you're just like, hold up, you know, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Because it's like, how much are you going to take? So how do you feel like that you kind of came to that conclusion where it just works for you guys? Like, is it just communication? Is it because he did some things in the past that you're like, no, and like you set boundaries? How does that come about?
The whole threesome thing was brought to me, like he would always be like, oh, you know, why, you love girls, why won't you have a threesome with me and another girl? And I'm like, I'm just not ready yet. Like, it wasn't until I felt like him and I were in a place where we're not going anywhere. You know what I mean? Like,
where it was a solid foundation, where it was like, hey, I don't care if you fuck this bitch in front of me. I know your ass ain't going anywhere, like, kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's like, okay.
Or you, for that instance, he's probably telling you, hey, bitch, I know I'm going to let you fuck this girl, but your ass ain't going nowhere. You're coming back.
Yeah, because he always was like, you love girls. Like, I don't get it.
Because that's a lot of men feel that way. Like, they want their women to fuck a girl, but then they also fear, if you do really like women, like, are you going to leave me for her?
Yeah, or if the girl does better than you're doing, you know, there's always that doubt. So I always say, for any couple that's trying to experience a threesome, you have to have that solid foundation with your partner before you even introduce that, because the jealousy.
It's not something you do on a second date.
No, obviously. And that, I mean, some people do, but then it's like, then that you're going to have in your mind, like, oh, he's always going to want that.
That's how you're setting your foundation.
Yeah. You know, so you got to set that boundary, that respect, and that, like, okay, you know, if we're going to have this threesome, I don't want you doing this because if you do that to me, it's sentimental, you know, like certain.
So you have you have no like boundaries of like things you even do in the bedroom.
We personally don't, because when we, when we have our fun, it's very organic, and it's not, even when we shoot for OnlyFans, it's not really like, oh, hey, we're going to do 3 positions and you're going to get on top and I'm going to get, no, it's just like camera rolling and let's just have fun. It always turns out like we're organically having fun, and you know,
because you are.
We are like, we enjoy it, you know. So
I think that to me is more hot to like watch, is because it's like, again, you know, you being a performer, like you said, it's like sometimes it'd be like, oh, doggy, this, that, whatever. It's like sometimes you lose the luster of like what you're actually doing, and you're like, let me just fuck.
The flame. Yeah. So we definitely have had situations where it is very structured like that, and it's we're open to suggestions always with the person that we shoot with when we do the threesomes or foursomes, whatever. But we always like to make the other person feel comfortable, because him and I are just savage as it is, you know. So it's like we just always got to say, is there any do's or don'ts? Are you cool with whatever?
You're like, because once we start, I'm in. I'm going all the way.
You just tell me, are we doing A? We're not doing A. Can I put my finger in your butt or not?
Okay, girl. Okay. I like it.
So, yeah.
So has there ever been a time in your shooting that you've been either jealous or didn't like something and had to either address it afterwards or stop the scene?
Let's see. I think the only thing that's ever happened that was like a little bit of a downer was we were just drinking a little bit too much prior to our shoot, and that was our fault. You know, so I just didn't like the way the footage came out, and it was great because we were with a super hot chick.
But so did it look kind of like sloppy, or like you
not
feel like get drunk, or like
sloppy? But I would have wished the angles were a little bit different. We didn't get to see a lot of action because we were just having so much fun. I was like, wait, why were we recording your foot when there's like super hot action going on right now?
Okay, I see. So nothing didn't happen.
So
it just happened. It just happened, and it just like the camera kind of fell off, or didn't capture what you were actually in the moment doing.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, we look so hot. The outfits were so on fire. The lighting was good.
I would still like to sell the noise.
Oh, we did.
We
did.
Sell the audio.
We totally did, and they loved it. They absolutely loved it. I mean, we cut a couple of the parts, but we normally like to just shoot straight through because it's more like, you know,
it makes more sense. It doesn't look like it's production wise where it's like whatever, where it's like chopped up to certain
I feel like the fans love to see it being shot from your phone or whatever, like home camera, sitting it on the tripod or POV, just because it's a home video, you know?
No, so, I like that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, you sound like you're having fun over there at your OnlyFans. That sounds like honestly. So does your man have a stage name, or is he just
so we have an OnlyFans. It's a free page, and it's we just started it because he had to start one. He didn't before, but we started it, and it's mommy and daddy. So we are parents, obviously. We have a child, and you know, we want to basically show parents that you can still be sexual and still be, you know,
like it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Just because you have a child doesn't mean that you have to stop your normal lifestyle, the things that you like to do sexually, you know, obviously all in moderation and away from the little ones. But we started that just because we kind of want to, you know, just show people that it's not end all be all once you have a kid. Your sexy
doesn't stop once you have a baby.
It actually, I feel like after I had my son, I feel like I became more sexual and I felt more of a woman. Okay. Like, it just turned this whole, like, you know, and then
this other freak inside of you.
For real.
Well, I feel like you do too. Like the woman's body is such a powerful thing. Like you giving birth is like a magical like gift that got, you know what I mean, that you do, and you know, so having that experience and that bond, I could only see how you feel feel more in tune to your womanness. For sure. You know what I mean? Femininity and all those things like that. Is because it becomes a part of it, and that's the evolution of life, and how you bringing that into the world and how powerful that is. You know, and that's beautiful. That's awesome.
Yeah. I've been in the industry for so long, and I always like when people ask me, how long have you been in the industry? Like, dude, I stopped counting because I feel like like the last, I would say 6 to 8 years, I really feel like a completely different person. Like I feel more sexy. I'm a little more voluptuous. I've had some upgrades done, you know, so I just feel like I was such a little girl, like, you know, in the beginning of my career. I didn't even really know what sexy was.
What age did you start?
So I started when I was 18.
Okay.
You know, so
And you're currently?
I'm 37. I had to think about that.
So it's like, but you grew up in the industry, you know what I mean? And that's only, again, too, is like, people forget, they're like, oh, well, you don't look the same. I'm not supposed to.
I'm not
like, you know what I mean?
to.
You evolve as a person, a woman, you know, a mother, a partner, you know, and even like you get more confident in your sexuality is because you have someone that a lot of people don't have, that's being there by your side, experiencing it with you, and telling you, supporting. Hey, this is okay. I want to do it with you.
Right.
Like, but you are sexy. Like, you know, and that's cool to have, is because people don't really get that. And I feel like people kind of hide and shy away. They're like, oh, I have kids. Like, I can't be sexy. And then like, I'm sure there's a lot of criticism that you get because they're like, oh, you're too sexy. You have a kid. Yeah. Like, how do you deal with that?
I mean,
you're gonna get criticism with anything. If
regardless,
you have, I don't have kids, and I get criticism because what about what my kids are gonna think one day, whatever. But like, how do you kind of stay away from the naysayers and like something so powerful as like you guys wanting to showcase mommy and daddy? Like, how do you tell these people who you're trying to say that this is okay to kind of, what do you do when a negative situation happens?
We pretty much block people right away because we don't have time for it. I don't have time to respond to those things. When I do a Q&A on Instagram or even on do polls on my OnlyFans and stuff like that, I do get, you know, the nasty comments. What is your child gonna think? Blah, blah, blah. First of all, I'm such a cool mom and my fiance is such a cool dad that there's no reason why we won't have that conversation when the time is appropriate, you know? So everyone else's opinion, you know, we don't really live our lives based on their opinion because we didn't get this far by saying, hey, I'm not going to do this because so-and-so who I've never met in my whole entire life.
Joe 1, 2, 3, 4 told
says
me
that my child's going to have this, like it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? And, and we don't really put much energy into that because there's no reason or time for it, you know? And the people that do support us, we're really thankful for, and our family does, our friends, and people you surround yourself with.
And seeing that, what I feel like is more important on those levels is because once you have that solid foundation of like people behind you, it doesn't matter what anybody says. And I'm a firm believer of, like, I've always said with the question when people ask me, I'm like, well, I feel like I would be a good enough parent to explain to my child at that given point that it doesn't define who you are. It's just a part of what you want to do and explore your sexuality. You know what I mean? So I think it's an important situation to have because I think communication is important in everything. But you can't, you know, even if you weren't in it, you'd have to explain it some way or another. And, you know, mommy's sexy, mommy's hot, mommy capitalized, and mommy's doing her damn thing.
I do, you know.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it. And that's where the you know, like you said, what do you do when, you know, people have something to say? Or, I mean, being around environments that aren't in my industry that involve, you know, my little guy, it's very, you know, I always get the looks. I always get the, you know, teen mom, you know, but to me, it's like,
do they make it difficult for your son?
No, not at all. Not at all. But I want to, there's so many times where I want to reach out and be like, okay, you can be sexy too. Yeah. You can, you know.
Do you feel like that's a line that you don't want to cross because like
I don't say anything because I just want it to be strictly I'm here for him and that's it type thing. But I have, you know, as a parent and a performer, I feel all women are sexy. It doesn't matter if you're thin, if you're curvy, if you had 4 kids, if you had 1 kid and bounce back, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, you can still find the sexy in you and still live a happy life. I think a lot of women stop like exploring their sexuality after they have a kid, and it's like, you don't have to do that. You can still find a way to be like, hey, I'm gonna wear this and I'm gonna feel great in it, regardless of what anybody says, you know, and do it for you.
Fuck yeah, baby. So, I love that. But you know, and it's something that you should think about, and maybe you already have. It's like one of those things, like maybe you can't approach everybody in that sense, whatever, but in a bigger platform that you do already have, you know, write a book, write an excerpt, write something like an educational thing where people maybe don't feel comfortable talking to you out of your son's game, but they'll watch and listen to your thing, whatever, is because they do still find you sexy. They do know that you have a voice. And so I feel like when people have more literature about things, more, you know, things that they can watch and kind of relate to, like they too have a kid, they too go to, you know, outings with their, you know, kids or whatever and things like that, that you don't have to be covered up. You don't have to be whatever. It doesn't mean you have to be flaunt everything, but in your own way, you know, give a guideline of doing the Daisy's guidelines. You know what I mean?
And that's why we started our separate OnlyFans with my fiance on it. And we are kind of putting out a blueprint of how we want to approach that whole, you know, giving advice or helping, you know, parents.
It's definitely a market for that, you know what I mean? Like the whole MILF, you know, industry as being as popular as it is. Like, I definitely think you should, you know, find a way to capitalize and even more on that thing, is because I feel like not enough people, and especially couples who are actually thriving, can do it together and make it make sense for both people. Because I'm sure there's men in the same situation where ask him is, how do you not get jealous, or how do you stay hard, how do you not get overexcited, how do you keep it together when you're drinking on a set, how do you make it more exciting fighting in the bedroom when you're not on set, you know, all those things that you don't think about because you're just involving it. And once you start to write it out, you're like, oh, fuck, these are everyday things that we do already. So it's like, it kind of just cohesively goes together.
Yeah, for sure.
What would you say is the best advice you've ever gotten?
Best advice I've ever gotten? Oh, let's see. Honestly, I mean, like what I just said, just do you, because nobody really, I mean, your family is the only thing that matters as far as support when it comes to big life decisions. So I just do what I know is best for me, and that's it. You know, like I can't sit and listen to the trolls and let them determine what my future is going to be, you know?
Do you, the Daisy mantra.
I'd be in the dirt if that was it.
Well, we're glad that you're not. I'm definitely loved, like, you know, me knowing you from afar for, you know, quite several years or whatever. I feel like I didn't really know you as much prior back then, but even with the time of you having your son from afar, I definitely see you're more comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're very more, I can't say like you weren't a woman. I just feel like you were more coming into your woman need. Like, that doesn't make sense.
Woman self.
You're the woman you're supposed to be. You know, I feel like that your journey to where it is, I feel like it's definitely looks great on you. You feel, you look very happy. You look very like in tune to, like if it's your sexuality, you being a mom and you know, a MILF and embracing all those things is really cool to have. It's because you have been in the industry a long time, and some people either get jaded, they hate it, or all these things. And I've never had a bad time myself in the industry, and I feel like with you even starting as young, you still, like, even though you've evolved and some things may have not been the best, but you know, overall you seem like you've had a really great lengthy career, and that you've been able to still establish your OnlyFans and make and generate money to do it the way you want to.
And that's where I say, when I say do what's best for you, because it's like you're always going to have these ups and downs and situations, but it's the people that can rise above it and kind of push through and like make the next step better. You know what I mean? Like it's not an end all be all if something happens and it's not, you know, the greatest. So
exactly. What is one of your craziest interactions with a fan or celebrity?
Craziest interaction. Not by choice, but
are they ever?
It's like I mean, there's super fans and there's super fans, but there's like, you know, crazy fans that have created profiles and followed my whole family and posted pictures of me and my child, which I never post pictures of me and my child, so they probably got it from someone else's page. And was, you know, was like, this is me and Daisy's my wife and this is my child, and following my whole family, and everyone's like, who the fuck is this?
They're like, oh, this is not your fiance.
I think that's the craziest. I mean, I'm pretty...
But was it ever like to a stalker situation, or was it just by virtual like?
No, it was like no matter how much I blocked this person, they would contact me, create new profiles. It was more so them contacting my family. And so that's why I don't.
That's my biggest thing. Is like, do whatever you want to me. Well, not really, but yeah. But when it comes to my family, they didn't choose to do this life. Right. So it's like I did. Like I had that happen early on with myself. Like I had my. One of my family members had a number listed in a phone book back in the day when phone books existed. Yeah. And well, back in the day, that's how long dating myself. And like, so it was listed and it was to her house. And so they called because we have the same last name, and they were leaving messages on the phone. Yeah, and so it was just like, for me, it's like, it's safety purposes, you know what I mean? And it says your address, whatever. So I had to have a talk with my family to unlist all, like, not to put everything private, basically. But it just sucks that you have to do that, because again, if you called me, I would be still fucking pissed, but I still chose to choose the life that I did in a light where you never know, unfortunately, it's going to happen. Yeah. But you
have to draw the line somewhere. I mean, like, we kind of know that comes with the territory of being an entertainer, and it is what it is, you know? And, you know, you just got to put these motherfuckers in their place sometimes.
For sure. Boundaries are everything, you know, and I've learned that, you know, the older I have become, and not that I didn't know what my boundaries were, that I didn't know, and not that I didn't know what I didn't want as far as boundaries, but setting those boundaries in stone and being like, no, this is not going to happen or cross this line. Because sometimes with fans, it's like, you want to give them a great experience, but it's like, sometimes you also too don't want to be like, have them like invasive in your life, because you know, it is a job, you know what I mean? And what we do is I give my all to what I do in my scenes, and then I'm allowed to have my private life, you know, and that's only fair. For sure. So do you have any crazy celebrity stories?
I don't, to be honest.
Nobody slid in your DMs and you're like, ignored?
You know what?
Or try to tell you something
crazy. I don't check my DMs. I sometimes have to check my DMs like periodically when, you know, I get some girls that want to contact me and shoot content. So I'll go through it once in a while. But yeah, I mean, I've had a few celebrities DM, but I mean, I just don't pay any mind because.
Now, would your man be open into having a celebrity threesome?
I wouldn't want to, so it wouldn't be a choice for him.
Not even a celebrity female?
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, women are always welcome.
We don't say no to women.
We don't say no to women, okay?
I like it.
Our queens are always welcome.
Hey, I love that. So, what is a moment do you wish that you could relive or even change? It could be something in your career, it could be something in your personal life, it could be anything.
Relive. I would say change. I wish we had, when I was a contract star with video team and doing all the big feature films back in those days, I wish we had social media. I wish we can change that.
That's a good one.
Because the platforms that are given to us is just like crazy. It's like, you know, you get to promote yourself and you get what you put into it. And if we had that back then, I think it would change a lot of things. You know?
I agree with that. That's definitely a good one. I feel like when he started in the industry a long time ago, it was like social media wasn't really a thing at all. And now it's like we had to promote our stuff or ourselves, but even back then it was companies promoting us. Yeah. So it was like if either you went to a trade show or you went to
convention
like a video store, which don't really exist anymore, or like all these things. Whatever.
Ooh, those were so old.
Those were fun. You know, I saw the other somebody was at Night Moves, and I was like, man, I don't even know the last time I was at Night Moves. It was like probably at least 10 years ago. Oh my God, I was like, I can remember being in the same places as me. And I'm like, wow, like, yeah, it's a long time ago, but it's just, it's crazy how things change and don't change because they still exist and they're still there. But it's just like you as a person change and the same thing still continues to happen. But yeah, Night Moves. I was like, man, I can remember being in that hotel. I remember fighting with my ex-husband, almost going to jail. I remember a story with you and you're, I think, no, it wasn't. I think we talked about this one time. You were with somebody and I was with my ex and we had hosted a party somewhere, but I don't think that's your
no, it's probably ex from a long
because that's what we I think I was somewhere else and you're like, no, that wasn't. And I was like, oh, my bad. It was, You're like, let's not talk about it. And I was like, yeah. But that was the first time I actually hung out with you.
Was it in Miami?
I think it was Fort Lauderdale. It was Hard Rock or something like that. One of those things, like one of those things, whatever. And I was like, oh yeah, that was a fun time. Minus the boys. The boys could have left. Like we were doing our own thing, and then I think our boys got in trouble together. We had to
go on stage and like give stuff out and like do the whole.
And then they got in trouble and get kicked out, and then we were there, and then by ourselves, and we're like, how do our boyfriends get kicked out of our event?
I know.
Winners, look at them now. They're both nowhere to be found, and
that's why their names aren't being mentioned.
Applaud to us. No, but you know what I mean? Throughout the time when you know people, it's unfortunate. But sometimes, you know, we witnessed some people that didn't belong in our lives anymore. And, you know, that's why they're not there.
And we grow from those situations. And
that's fucking right. I grew really, really strong after that.
For sure.
Still growing strong.
That'll make you put some big girl panties on.
Yes, or no panties at all. The invisible big girl panties, those are my favorite. The smaller, the better. But, you know, big is always big. I think it's always good. All right, so we're going to take a little bit of a break, and then we're going to get to my favorite part, Truth with Texas. We've warmed you up. We're going to play some fun games, and we're going to get you. Texas. Wow. Yes. Are you ready?
I'm not.
Well, we're going to take a shot, and we're going to be ready. All right. Private Talk, we are back. Season 3, After Dark episode with Miss Daisy Marie. She doesn't even know what she's got herself into. We're about to play Truth with Texas. You know, she was telling me she was so nervous, you know, having the commercial break, you know, all those commercials that we have here at Private Talk. I think she's ready though. I feel like I don't see how a porn star like yourself, who's been in the industry for so long, is so nervous by little old me. You know, I know my booty's big, but it's just little old me.
How's your booty?
All right, so Truth with Texas is going to go. I've got 4 cards. We're going to go through every single one. Each ace is a different type of question. We're going to get a little romantic, naughty, spicy, kinky, all of those things here at Private Talk After Dark. So feel free to tell us the truth.
Help me, please. Lord, help me.
You see it. All right, pick a card. Ace of which one? Ooh, clubs. So we're going to do the kinky. Would you consider yourself kinky?
Not at all, actually.
Not at all. Why would you say that? You just talked about threesomes, foursomes.
I sometimes have to kinky? I have to turn it off. I forget say some things and I'm like, oh wait, I probably shouldn't have said that to you because my kinky mind's just going.
But that means you're kinky. So are you a bondage person? Yes or no?
I do like it.
Now, do you like being the one who's tied up or you like being the one who's tying up?
I like doming. I like to be dominant. I could be submissive, but I feel like I'm a little more submissive.
So is your man going to let you tie him up?
No.
No? He's not even one hand?
No.
Me neither. I mean, I don't have one, but I mean.
I'm Mexican. He's like, you tie me up.
So role play, yes or no? You said you like costumes, you like wigs, you like all these things. Do you like to role play? Did you do that at home without the OnlyFans camera rolling?
Yeah, there's a blonde wig that we both really like.
I like those eyes. Oh, what's her name?
We haven't named her yet.
Oh, you see, you need to have alter egos.
I think I'm just going to call her Cochina.
I love it. I love that. Dirty, dirty, dirty. So, Hitachi or dildo?
Hitachi.
Hitachi. Have you ever been in an orgy?
I stopped counting.
She said, okay, explain or talk to us about here at Private Talk, your last orgy that you were in. Did you do it for your OnlyFans? Is this something that you did a long time ago? Do you do it in your personal life? Where did this orgy take place, Daisy Marie? Private Talk wants to know.
Well, I enjoy all of them, but there was one that was off camera recently.
You know that magnet needs to be closer to, the magnet's not working right now, Daisy. We talked about this magnet during the break. You know, your magnet.
It's here.
Yes, got it. Now I can hear you. Okay, now I'm ready. Story time with Daisy Marie. Here we go, Private Talk.
So, just recently off camera, and then.
So how many people, tell Private Talk, does it take to consider to be an orgy? And how many people participated in this said orgy we're speaking of? Do you need some time? Do you need some help from Miss Texas? Please let us know, how many people does it take to participate in an orgy with Miss Daisy Marie?
After three.
After three. So 4, including yourselves, would be 4. Yeah. All right. So is this how many people were the participants in this orgy that we're speaking of?
Yes.
So was there 3 girls and 1 guy?
Yes.
All naked. Who started it?
I always start it. It's always a girl action.
You're like, whoops, sorry, I fell in.
It's always a girl action.
So how do you start it? What's your move? What's your move that you just start eating her pussy, you make out with her, you're like here's some tequila, and now let's party.
I'm definitely make out, run my hair through your head. Your hair.
Rub your hand through my hair. There you go. I got you.
Grab it by the throat.
Okay.
Have you not seen my girls?
I haven't.
And you know what? We've never actually
we haven't.
Together.
That's why I'm like I'm stimulated. I'm listening. I'm sitting down in my chair. Like I'm getting cozy. I'm like, what?
I'm more of a show me, don't tell me type of person. So.
See, but here at Private Talk, they can't really see it unless, so we're trying to give a visual part of that whole thing, and myself getting stimulated because I've never seen it. But I never really watched porn. Because I did it, I feel like I didn't have to watch it. Like I lived all the sexual fantasies or games or roles or whatever in my 20s. I did all that. So for me, I never really watched porn. So no, I have not seen one. But maybe I'll have to watch one. I don't really know. I don't even watch just porn.
Make one.
This is true. This is true. I haven't made a porn and I don't even know how long.
We don't have to film it.
There you go. Now we're talking. See, this is something that y'all cannot see. You cannot buy. Maybe not. But yeah, it's definitely orgy. So talk about it. What happened?
We just had a couple of drinks, went to dinner, and then.
So this was at home. This was no OnlyFans.
No OnlyFans.
Okay.
Yep. And
I just don't think I have that many people that I like that I would be like, let's go with 4 people to dinner and then fuck them all. Like, I don't really like that many people. So I don't really see, that's really, that to me is really, you got some real skills to go out and orchestrate all of that in an organic way though. Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's not that you planned it. It's just the fact that it cohesive, it happened organically. Yeah. That's G.
It should have been filmed. Would have been hot.
You need one of those. You need one of those cameras where you don't move it. Where if something like that happens, you're like, "Hey, do we all consent? Are we good?" And then you just put it on, like it's like your spy cam. You know what I mean? But then it's like put it on so as you could actually like see in the direction.
Yeah.
See. We need to put. Sure. We need a spy cam at your house. I need access to this spy cam so I can see what is Daisy up to today. It's Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. I know that bitch is doing something. I'm like, if it's Tuesday or Thursday, that bitch is with some bitches and they're fucking. I know it now. Private talk. I know all of it.
Exposed
here at Private Talk after dark. How many times have you had sex in one day?
3. Yeah.
How many partners have you had sex with in one day?
Male, always the same one. And I think 3. No, 2.
2. Okay. Do you like being spanked?
I do. If it's in the right spot.
What is the right spot?
Like that cheek, you know, not like that accidental middle of the back smack.
Where you're just like, don't know what you're doing.
Like, dude, no, I'm kidding.
You know, I really hate that too, especially because my ass is fat, right? So sometimes I'd be throwing
but
I'm throwing it back, and so they try to do it in motion, and it just never really works out for anybody.
Especially
sometimes
if you're on top and it like, no.
And I don't like when people like smack down. I'm like, do you not know how to smack an ass? You know how many people I've had to learn how to smack an ass? Like, and they're like, what do you mean? There's no way. I'm like, yeah, there is. And then when I teach them and they're like, oh, I'm like, not only does it feel good, you leave no marks and it makes a really cool noise. Like, get it together.
It's a noise for me.
It's a noise for me too. It's the no marks for me. I hate, like, I'm such like, I bruise easily. Like, you can grab me like this and I'm bruising. And so for me, I hate having marks. Even when I'm not shooting, like, I just don't like to look like damaged.
That's the one thing about bondage that I like, but I've done some stuff for kink back in the day. That kind of bondage is like I'm not into the leaving marks. You know what I mean? Like you said, especially I like rope.
Okay.
Like being tied with rope.
But how do you use rope without leaving marks? Isn't that difficult?
It is.
Yeah. Because for me, I like light bondage. Like I do like being my hair pulled, but being choked, being spanked. If you know what you're doing.
Right.
I ain't trying to go on a wild goose chase and be like, what the, like, I'm like, sometimes I'm like,
or
just
teach them,
stop it.
Teach them while you're going.
Yeah, I'm
okay, now you can do this.
I'm too old for that. Like, no. Like, the worst thing a man can do for me is like, tell me what you want. No, if you don't know by now, get the fuck away from me. Like, I hate that question, which I guess some women may like that. I don't know. It's open to, interpretation. But for me, I'm just like, if you don't know how to fuck me, then I just don't want to tell you. Like, I'm not trying to give you the secrets. Like, get it together. Have you ever been caught masturbating?
Yes.
Have you ever caught your man masturbating?
Not really. Recently, yeah. Like, oh,
did he keep going?
Very quietly, yes.
What, were you sleeping and he was doing it?
It was at night, yeah. I was like, why isn't he laying with me? But the bathroom light was on, and I was like, okay. But it was hot. He was watching one of our videos.
Hey, that's hot. That's funny though, but it's hot.
He was watching one of our threesome videos.
I always think it's weird when people are like, not weird, I guess, but like they'll masturbate in the same bed with the person. I'm like, why don't you just fuck them?
Yeah, why you gotta shake the bed and wake me up if it's not with the cock in me?
Hey, right? You heard it first. Dirty talk, yes or no?
Yes or no.
Do you like to dirty talk? Or do you like someone being dirty talking to you?
I like both. I like to dirty talk when I'm like really horny and I want them to come.
So you're just like begging for it, being a dirty little girl. I like it. Can you
and
tell
I'll
us?
take my time.
Can you tell us? Can you give us a little excerpt of here at Private Talk After Dark of what you would be telling? It's this moment when you're really horny, you really want them to come. What does Daisy Marie say?
Oh, that feels so good, Poppy. Keep going. Oh my God, you're making my pussy so fucking wet. I want you to fill me up. You know you fucking want it. Fill me up, please. I want your leche.
And then you had me at leche. I think the leche really good. That's hot. I like it.
If you know, you know.
I think they know. All right, let's do another card. See, it's fun. It's not so bad. Ooh, Ace of Hearts, romantic.
Mi corazón es tuyo.
Ooh, tell me more about your heart.
That's what I say too, actually. Oh, give it to me. My pussy's all yours, papi.
Ooh, Does your woman tell you that? If she doesn't, you're fucking up. Do it better.
Just tell them you own their cock. They love that.
Yes. Men like ownership of anything. You know what I mean? I like that.
My shit.
Do you think that you're the romantic person in the relationship?
There's both. We both have our ways.
Do you have a favorite song you like to fuck to?
Right now?
You're like, what's on my playlist? Do you have a sex playlist? Or do you just like...
We kind of just get it in. There's music playing in the background, but I don't know. I don't normally pay attention to the music.
Did you have sex with him on the first date?
No.
No. How many days did you hold out?
I don't remember. No, I fucked him pretty quickly, actually. But it wasn't like a first date.
It was like between the 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like sexting?
Not really.
Have you ever sent a naughty pic?
No. Accidentally to my mom, yeah.
How naughty was his pic, and what did your mom say back to you?
It's happened a few times to my sister, too.
What are you doing are these OnlyFans pictures?
There was a situation, that I sent a picture to my mom.
What did they say?
Nothing.
Do they just get used to, they've been in the business for so long, so they're just like, oh, you're at it again, or like, wrong person?
Yeah, that's all they say. It's, oh, wrong person, right? I'm like, right? Yes, right. But you know what? I have the coolest family. Like, they're so understanding. They don't, it's, they're
like,
they love me no matter what. They kind of knew that I was going to be wild growing up, so they're not surprised.
What were the signs that you were going to be wild? What were you doing that
I was just
gave it away?
a little cholita, rebellious, going to parties, drinking.
So nothing's changed other than you've grown up and you don't go to parties anymore because you have house parties. House parties are way better.
Exactly.
Because you control their own fantasy.
Exactly.
Favorite position?
I like to be on top. It hits my spot.
Hits your spot.
And
Booty
I did the
shorts?
Latin twist.
What's the Latin twist?
On top. You got to get on top. I got to be on top of you so I can show you, actually, because it's not really like a visual thing. It's like a...
Well, let's do it.
When I'm on top like this, I go like this. Okay, and I go in the air.
Ooh, the Latin twist is going on right now. The private talk after hours. I can see.
Keep watching.
I could see why that would be your finishing move.
Yeah, it's like you're polishing it. You're just
finishing touches. I have something similar, but it's way different, and like my cheeks fly a different way. Yeah. But I don't know what I would call it. It's not the Latin twist. It's the Puerto Rican rumble, and I don't know. That just came out of my mouth. I gotta come up with a name for it. But
we're gonna come up with a name.
We're gonna work on it. We're gonna work on it. We're gonna work on that one. What is first thing that sexually attracts you to your partner?
Honestly, I mean, his body. Just him, his stupid smile.
What's the first thing that sexually attracts you to a female since you like the ladies? Is there something specifically that you like gravitate to that would
I
be
feel like obviously personality, but like just
be the savage that you really are, Daisy. Don't be telling me about, it's her personality, bitch. When she's popping it on the pole, you don't know what fucking personality she has.
That personality.
The truth.
She's gonna be bouncing on my face later.
There's the savage that I know.
Like the ones that look like a little innocent, I'm like, okay. Mm-hmm.
I'll turn her out. I feel like you like to be the one who's like the first, like the cherry popper.
Yeah, I'm a little more dominant than I am submissive, but. It's the energy is there and they're giving it attention.
But I think that women like that because most women aren't. So like either with women, you could tell you either like girls or you don't because you're being like, hey, this is me, like whatever. Where some people like there's no guessing, you know what I mean, in a sense, which is like, hey, bitch, you're coming home with me. You're gonna the Latin twist. Yes, we're going. What is your body part that you're most proud of?
My booty.
Booty.
My booty.
That booty. What is an absolute deal breaker for you in a relationship?
Deal breaker. I wouldn't. Anyone that's trying to change you is a deal breaker.
Okay. So anybody who's not letting you be you.
Exactly.
All right, next card. Let's see what ace we've got. Spades, a naughty question, which we like that one here at Private Talk, but we're all a little naughty.
I feel like we've been naughty the whole time.
That's what we do here at Truth
Are we
with
checking
Texas.
back in?
We're checking back in to make sure that this naughty question is going to be naughtier than the last one, because the other ones were romantic, but romantically naughty.
Okay.
Lube or spit?
Spit. Love it.
Touched yourself in public?
In my car, yeah.
Biggest turn off?
The teeth.
Bad teeth is a no-go.
Bad teeth.
Does size matter?
No.
Does booty size matter?
No.
Favorite place to have sex?
On the bed. So basic, but a lot happens in it.
A lot happens.
When you have a nice sized bed and you're not falling off.
You got a lot of room to play with, a lot of area to cover, and multiple people can fit on this big bed.
Exactly.
Cow King comes in handy a lot of the times.
Eastern King, Cow King, hey.
Have you ever faked an orgasm?
I would be lying if I said yes.
That you faked it?
That I've never faked it.
Oh, that you've never faked it. So you faked it.
I've faked it before.
We've all faked it.
We've all faked it.
All right, our last ace is a diamond, which is spicy questions. Anal sex, yes or no?
After a couple shots of tequila, yes.
Woo! Craziest place you've ever had sex?
I've done a car moving while driving.
Moving and driving. Mm-hmm. Did you get safely to point A and point B? Did anything
safely? I was a little wet, had a couple snail trails on the car seat.
Slippery when wet.
Caution, slippery when wet, for sure.
If you had a warning label, what would yours be?
That's it. Caution, slippery when wet. You guys know, if you guys know, I had that tattooed on me before.
Slippery when wet?
Caution, slippery when wet.
Where was this tattoo?
Right above my pussy. When I first started shooting, like in 2000, when I was, 18 years old.
I need pictures. I got to see a picture of this.
They're probably online. You can't miss them.
I'm going to do a Google search. I'm going to find. Oh, that's hilarious. What was your first sexual experience like?
It was with a girl. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but I know that it felt good.
Were you the aggressor in that situation early on as well?
No, I wasn't. I was more
So you
submissive.
got turned out?
Yeah.
But you liked it.
I loved it.
Like it. You're like, I never went back.
No change here.
Have you ever called someone the wrong name during sex?
No, I don't think that's ever happened.
Never? Mm-mm. Have you ever had pity sex?
Pity sex? Yes.
Yes. You're like, I was going to say no, but I will tell you the
softie sometimes.
Hey, sometimes you just got to throw a bone sometimes. Who knows? Is there anything you want to ask me, Miss Daisy Marie, before we leave? See, I didn't hurt you that bad. It was just like a little poke, right?
Yeah,
it was like little pokes several times.
Yeah, got to show you my Latin twist.
I loved the Latin twist. I would think that was my favorite part. Anything that I could be a willing participant to be, lap. It's right here. It's right here. Is there anything that you want to promote? You want to let us know your OnlyFans, your Instagram?
My OnlyFans is onedaisymarie.com, and then my Twitter is real Daisy Marie. And then Instagram, one Daisy Marie with the number 1. And yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate your honesty. Thank you for coming on and being a guest of the After Dark episodes. I hope you guys loved it. Make sure that you like and subscribe to this episode, and make sure you go follow her OnlyFans. All right.
Gracias.
Until we meet again.